Good morning, Keith Hurm, Daviess County Fire Department Inspector Investigator. We're at the East Fire Station this morning. It's going to get brutally cold the next few days, so we want to talk about some home heating safety ideas, some alternative heating sources, and some things to do and to not do. I know folks are going to be worried about their pipes freezing, some things we don't want to do. We don't want to let our pipes freeze and then get under the house with one of those propane torches, butane torches, and attempt to thaw those pipes out. A thing you can do, you can leave a faucet dripping, and I'm talking a very minute drip. You can open the cabinets below the sinks, and that'll let some of that heat in. Should alleviate any problem there with your pipes freezing. Again, if you do have a pipe freeze, let's not get under the house and use that torch, because things happen badly then. Some things we want to talk about if we lose power. If we're going to use a generator, we want to make sure it's at least 20 feet away from the house. We never want to bring that generator into the house. Certainly not into the basement, an attached garage, anything like that. It needs to be outside. If we do lose power and you use that generator, you want to make sure you're not backfeeding. So back in 2009, we were using generators. I used one in my house for several days. You want to make sure you're not backfeeding and take a chance on electrocuting that lineman that's out trying to restore that power. So generators away from the house and fuel away from the house, obviously, and make sure you're not backfeeding back into the electrical utilities lines. Some other things we want to do, if we're going to use an additional space heater, you want to keep it at least 3 foot away from any kind of combustibles. You also want to make sure that heater has an automatic shutoff in case it were to tip over. If we've got kiddos in the house or pets in the house that bump into it, make sure it's got that automatic shutoff where it's going to shut off if it is tipped over. We also want to plug it directly into an outlet. I'm going to show you here in a minute. I've got a heater and a power strip that have been misused. The heater is going to pull too many watts from that power strip, and it's going to overload that power strip and cause it to overheat and could cause a fire. We do know 1 in every 7 home fires are related to heating equipment. So we know it's going to get really cold. So if you're going to use that alternative source of heat, be sure and do it safely. Kerosene heaters. A lot of people ask about kerosene heaters. They're really not safe to bring into the home. They're going to put off those fumes. Carbon monoxide is a deadly silent killer, and you'll have that carbon monoxide level rising in your home before you even know it. If you do bring one in the home, make sure it's burning cleanly. Make sure the wick is clean. And if you're going to refuel it, let's always take it outside to refuel it. But kerosene heaters are really not a good idea in the home. And let's talk about the kitchen. So the kitchen's a little cool. We're worried about those pipes freezing, so we've got that door open. We think leaving the oven on is a good idea. It's never a good idea to leave that oven on. An oven is designed for cooking. It's not designed to heat a house, even a room. Leaving that door cracked on that oven can eventually let enough heat out where it will melt knobs or buttons on the front of the stove or the oven. We never want to do that, and it also can cause to a malfunction. You leave that oven on for hours at a 500-degree temperature. It's eventually going to overload something and malfunction electrically. So we don't want to use an oven for an alternative source of heat, whether it's gas or electric. And gas, on the other hand, a gas oven or stovetop, you've got that burner lit. It's not burning cleanly. You're going to fill the house with carbon monoxide. And last but not least, during this snap, we want to make sure we've got those working smoke detectors. If something does happen, we want to be able to get warned and get out. I'm going to have Jordan look at a couple of the pictures here, look at my heater and my power strip, and we'll show you some things that have happened. You want to make sure that you plug the heater directly into the wall. So we're going to come over here and look at this heater. This is a space heater that I have acquired, and as you can see, the cord got weak and it broke, and we actually had an arc where it arced out onto the back of this plastic heater. The particular spot where this arced out, it was on a tile floor, and it left about a 4-inch black mark on the floor. So that arc is very fast, very hot. If it had been near combustible materials, I'd had a fire when this heater done that arcing. This heater was plugged directly into an outlet. It was not plugged into a power strip. And when we talk about power strips have a rating. They all have a particular rating that wattage can be pulled from them. This one here was overheated, as you can tell by the look here. Whatever was plugged in here was pulling too much wattage from this power strip, and it caused a heating issue here on the power strip. So again, if we're going to use those space heaters, plug them directly into the wall. Make sure they're 3 foot from any combustibles, and please make sure it's one that will shut off automatically if it is tipped over accidentally. That's it for today. Hope you have a great day and keep warm.